Good day, everyone. Hi, Coach Jude, my dear classmates. I am Jet Ryan B. Lozano from the Study Hub number 1, the Viridis. And for today's video, we are going to describe the different factors of the 14 learner-centered psychological principles.
Nature of the learning process. The learning of complex subject matter is most effective when it is an international process of constructing meaning from information and experience. So the explanation in the nature of the learning process in cognitive, it is an active process that engages our senses in a constructive and long-lasting way. So it teaches us to maximize our brain's potential and makes it easier to connect new information and with existing new ideas. So it is depending the memory and retention capacity.
Here's the example of construction of knowledge. Number 1, biology. Number 2, public health. Number 3, English literature. For strategic thinking skills include: Number 1, analytical skills. Number 2, communication skills. Number 3, problem solving skill. Number 4, planning and management.
Number 5, thinking about thinking. Successful learners can reflect on how they think and learn, set reasonable learnings or performance goals, select potentially appropriate learning strategies or methods, and monitor their progress toward these goals. Number 6, context of learning. Learning is influenced by environmental factors, including culture, technology, and structural practice.
Number 7, you have the motivational and emotional influences on learning. Motivational and emotional factors also influence the quality of thinking and information processes, as well as an individual motivation to learn. Motivational and emotional influences on learning positively emotion, such as curiosity, generally enhance motivation and facilitate learnings and also the performance. 2 factors of motivational and emotional influences on learning. First, we have the quality of thinking. The quality of our feelings, and based on those feelings, we see ourselves as being good for something or not good. Unfortunately, you and I know that a lot of thinking is negative and repetitively. And of course, our feelings and emotions will also be negative. Second, we have the information process. Is the change of information in any manner detectable by an observer? Such as it's a process that describes everything that happens in the universe, from the falling of rock to the printing of textile from a digital computer system. Number 8, we have intrinsic motivation to learn. This includes the needs for competence, autonomy, and relatedness. Along with satisfying this underlying psychological need, intrinsic motivation is also involved seeking out and engaging in activities that we find challenging, interest, and internal reward without the prospect of any external rewards. 3 factors for intrinsic motivation to learn. First one, we have the needs for confidence. The psychological needs to exert a meaningful effect on one's environment. Competence promotes the pursuit of challenging and deeply satisfying experience and is a criterion for psychological growth and well-being. Second, we have the autonomy. Autonomy is about personal ability to act on his or her own values and interests. And according to Pink, autonomy is a desire to direct our own lives. Last one, or the third one, we have the relatedness. Relatedness refers to the social nature of human being and the connectedness with others. Both can be considered as being part of the pan-human psychology, and both are intrinsically intertwined. Number 9, we have the effect of motivation on efforts. Motivation determines the specific goals towards which people strive. Thus, it affects the choice students make. Motivation also leads to increased effort and energy. Motivation determines whether a student will pursue a task, even difficult one, with enthusiasm or a lackluster attitude. Two factors for effect of motivation and effort. First one, we have to increase efforts. Conscious exertion of power, hard work, and how to use efforts in a sentence. Last one, or the second, we have the energy. Energy is the quantitative property that must be transferred to a body to perform work on the body or to hit it.
Number 11. Social influence on learning. Learning can enhance when the learner has opportunity to interact and collaborate with others on instructional tasks. Developmental influences on learning. Learning is the most effective when differential developmental within and across physical, intellectual, emotional, and social domains is taken into account. This is an event that impacts the dynamic interaction between individuals on their environment. Environment influences learning by creating a language, an experience environment which stimulate the mind growth.
The factors which are commonly designated as causative of individual differences are the following: race, sex, heredity, maturity, and social and economic status. These are the different factors which can affect to the different individual learners in our society, to its community, and to our world. For individual differences factors, we all know that as a human being in this world, individuals are born with different capacities and develop their own capabilities. And as we all know, we have different talents also. We individuals, learners centered of this institution, we want to gain more knowledge and to cook up more things in life. Individual differences in learning. We all know that educators need to help students to examine their learning preferences and expand or modify them, because it is something that as a learner we are to choose whatever we want, because we need to be independent. We need to know what we are on what we really want to learn in this time of uncertainty out. Learning and diversity. We all know that this topic is such an amazing, which as a learner we are being diverse with what we are doing, with what we are learning. But the same basic of learning or motivation and effective instruction apply to all learners. It is always implied to whatever sources or to whatever would be for the betterment of every learner. Standards and assessment. Assessment provides important information to both to the learner and teacher, because all of the stages of the learning process are very important, and it's such where we really want to cope up on every learning system in our society. So in line with this, I would like to share this to all of you that in this topic we have also the different factors of which are highly commonly designated to us as causative of individual differences. And these are the following. We have race, sex, heredity, maturity, and social and economic status. These 5 factors which can describe to develop, to enhance the effectiveness of every learners to the 14 learner-centered psychological principle. And I believe that it has been a nurture to all of us that we can still do and we can still apply this that we are doing every day in our life. There you have it, guys. We are done to describe the 14 learner-centered psychological principles, and we are so glad that we made it. And I hope you gained more knowledge and to cope up in this lesson. Thank you for watching. God bless and padayon.